All right, so this past weekend we hosted a little Jerry's Tree building contest. Kind of surprised it's the first time I've ever done something like that. But anyway, with the help of MC Pro Hosting, #sponsor, if you're in need of a Minecraft server, check the link in the description for a sweet discount referral code. Anyway, with their help, they hosted the server, kind of arranged the competition, provided some cool prizes. First place gets a game console and $100 credit to MC Pro Hosting. Second place, $100 credit to MC Pro Hosting. Third place, $50 credit to MC Pro Hosting. And so anyone who entered had 24 hours in one of these 20 by 20 plots to put together their build, their version of Jerry's Tree. And yeah, it's kind of exceeded expectations with the amount of entries that we got. I think there were over 200 builds, all of which are far better than anything. I mean, not quite as good. I built a really cool sapling. It was like the Ant-Man version, basically, of Jerry's Tree. Like, it doesn't look much if you just look at it from normal size. But if I tell you, if we could shrink it down to atom size, it would have been the most detailed, intricate build you've ever seen in your life. But that's beside the point, since I was ineligible to win with that build for whatever reason. So I wanted to show you guys just the top 3 builds because I thought they were super awesome. If you want to go through and see every single one, there is like 5 hours worth of footage and videos over on CaptainSparklez 2 going through each and every one of the builds. But for now, I thought I'd show you the top 3 winners. So in the first couple of days, we put together our finalists, got them laid out here, and then from these, we decided on the top 3. There were some honorable mentions. There was this really cool Mayanite themed one, but it was more Mayanite themed as opposed to like Jerry's Tree. So we tried to stick more to the Jerry's Tree specific theme, but that was like a really cool honorable mention, like this freaking particle fight between Ionite and Mayanite, and it was pretty gnarly. But anyway, let's go through the top 3. I thought you guys might enjoy this. There's a little bit of Jerry's Tree nostalgia going on, and you can quickly observe some of the other contenders here. All of them were pretty sweet. But anyway, this was the one that came in 3rd place. It was by Merlin TG, and it had this whole like underground. I thought that the things that he did, especially in this underground area, with kind of like creating this fog fade out effect using the glass and having these, you know, using the black concrete in order to make it look like things actually don't just end abruptly at the end of the plot, but kind of keep going into the abyss, was super cool. And then up top, it was just a really nice, polished, sort of like faithful-ish recreation of what the original Jerry's Tree looked like, with the similar kind of lights. Obviously, it didn't have sea lanterns back then, but it had the similar aesthetic with the spiraling steps going up the outside. And I don't know, I thought it was a really, really nice looking build. Zine was also judging alongside as well. And so we had to come to a consensus together, but there wasn't too much debate on choosing the final. We were like, yeah, these three seem pretty solid as choices. What I liked that a lot of people did was incorporating glass into their builds. You'll see in the second place one that it's got like a really, really cool use of glass. This is like a faithful recreation. They include the signs the path to Jerry warning may cause death. And then up we go, and then we've got the memorial up at the top. Here lies, he was a may he rest, Jerry, noble slime in peace. Don't dead open inside. A lot of people recreated the signs as I wrote them, which in retrospect was not the best formatting, but that's okay. We have the diving board off the very top this time instead of off the side. Not a very soft landing, but I suppose you could make it over to the other plot, and there is a little bit of water in the corner right there. So you just got to be a quality, precise diver. And then he added this additional flare on top with birds. A Jerry bird, a CaptainSparklez bird, and then windmill for the land. I just thought it was a nice little additional thing. I don't think fluids flowed on the server, hence being able to just place stationary water and kind of have it falling right there. All in all, though, I thought this was a pretty solid build. It was very, very well stuck to the theme. Very nice, very polished, detailed. And I thought the effects used in the underground cave area were really nicely done as well. It was pretty cool. And then just, you know, a little bit of Ionite reference back over here. Crystal of Ionite. All right. So that was once again Merlin TG. Thank you. Very much appreciated for entering, giving it a try, and succeeding pretty well, I think. Next up, we'll move over to second place over yonder, which this one's a bit of a doozy. Taking full advantage of the height offered. This was Biscotti, suspended between earth and sky, the tree of Jerry in both life and death. So it starts all the way down here, and it's like there's some kind of slime core that's breathing life up through these glass in the shape of smoke particles. We've got this cool little lava crystal down here with smoky effects in the form of cobwebs. I really like the use of glass to do this whole spirally kind of effect wrapping around the islands, and then just have these floating islands. And then you got the first, there's not one, there are 2 trees in this build on floating islands. And I thought it was just, man, crazy unique and original, and just really takes full advantage of the area offered. And it is crazy just within the 20 by 20 plot what people were able to create. It was nuts. I sure do miss Jerry. I wonder where he is right now. And we've got a little Sims Plumb Bob up in the middle. There were a few builds actually floating around this contest that had some Plumb Bobs in them. I wasn't quite sure of the reference in including them, but I guess, they're green. Jerry's green, so fits. Jerry, in fact, lives on through Sims Plumb Bobs. EA, big fans of Jerry, 100%. And then it moves on into the next island, which has yet another tree on it, except this time varied up using slime blocks as leaves rather than leaves down at the first tree. And then we've got some hot air balloons going on up here, which is pretty cool. I really like the things people did using player heads. It's just wild to me how many player heads there are out there that have skins that exist just so people can use them for aesthetics. Like there's a whole alphabet of player heads. And I was just thinking, like, what does it cost now? $20 to get Minecraft? So that's like 26 times 20. Someone spent that much money just for the courtesy of getting other people the ability to spell things out with player heads. Oh, look, a bird's nest. I wonder what will hatch. Nothing, because it's dead coral. Anyway, continuing along from there, we have another hot air balloon. So how do you fly this thing? And then this was really a really cool element of, rather than it just being a completely flat piece at the top, kind of capping it off with this dome of a night sky with the moon and stars hanging down and beacons coming off of the hot air balloons. Just all in all, pretty darn cool. And again, not one, but 2 trees going all out with this one. Biscotti, and it all was very uniform, fit together, super, super nice to look at. Not a block out of place, just really nice. So that was second place. Once again, Biscotti, thank you for entering. Really appreciate it. Awesome building, well beyond any expectations. And now we move on to first place, which is actually sort of a familiar name because we've played a couple of his maps. And he decided to enter the building contest, which was cool. Grant-tastic. And it's just, oh my God, the amount of detail. So it might not be as tall as Biscotti's, for example, but just the amount of little details that went into this thing, kind of ridiculous. I mean, he has this sort of underground slime grotto cave area going on with this freaking core in here out of ice and concrete and lanterns and stuff. And then you go up and we got slime mission control in here. This is cool. Look at all the things you can do with player heads, freaking little mini TVs and alarm looking things. Crazy. Just, oh man, it's such a cool thing to be able to use. And I know that Grant was actually going and giving people access to some of the heads if they wanted to use them in their builds as well, because obviously you have to know the username of the players that have these skins and stuff. So it's nice of him to help other people. We got slime mission control and we enter, and it's just like, oh my God, the amount of detail with the player heads and putting down little grass blocks and sea pickles and all that stuff. And then you can go up in here. Spiral staircase continues up, goes back around outside, and it has that faithful spiral staircase recreation. But then he includes like mushrooms that somehow fit. I can't make red and green work together, okay? Only Christmas can do that, as well as Grant and some other people who actually incorporated mushrooms into the tree, which is pretty cool. Apparently, Zine and I have a thing for hot air balloons because second and first place both had them. So for future reference, I guess if you include hot air balloons, it makes you more likely to win or something like that. And continuing up, you can continue the spiral, and we got a billboard, Jerry Inc. billboard on both sides of the tree. We're very corporate now here at Jerry's Tree. The slimes are taking over. We've got a whole industry with even more hot air balloons going up. And then you continue up and along. We got a little bit more detail with, the slime. And it's just like a little bit of variety here and there as you go up the tree. Little things here and there. And I don't really fully understand how he's able to put in all these little details that work. Like if I tried to do this, everything would look really out of place and not good at all. It'd be really bad. So other than my really, really high quality sapling that I planted, yeah, it's pretty good. Another mushroom, that works. And then you get to the top, and we go into outer space here. We're in the stratosphere or whatever sphere that satellites exist in, with a slime jumping off. Jerry Inc. We're so big, it's so corporate that we have satellites orbiting. And then up here, we've got the moon, where Jerry has planted a flag for America, claiming the moon for Jerry Inc. We privatized space travel, and it's pretty great. Dude, I love the use of the coral blocks in order to create like a surface of the moon. I mean, that's just so cool. Anyway, all together, it might not have been the tallest, but I think just all the details and everything combined just made Grant's really a bit of a standout. Pretty darn impressive. But it was not the easiest decision to come to the top 3. And there were a lot of incredible contenders out there. So I want to thank everyone who did participate. Just, again, far beyond what we could have ever expected in terms of the quality of the contest entries and all that stuff. And congratulations to the top 3 winners. And I feel like we'll have to do this again. This was pretty fun. And going to work on maybe seeing if we can open the server up for people to join in if they want to check out the builds in person, because there are a lot of good ones and a lot more than I can possibly fit into one reasonable length video. So again, you can go over to CaptainSparklez too if you want to see that. But I'll keep you informed in future videos if the server is made public or if we have a chance to release some of the builds as schematics so that you can possibly incorporate them into worlds of your own and things like that. Just a trip through the massive forest over here so you can just see the scale of how many builds were involved in this thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you liked. Check out the playlist in the description. It probably doesn't exist for this, actually, because this isn't a series. Subscribe if you're not already, and that'll do it. Thanks again, everybody, and so awesome. This was such a fun thing to do. So stoked on how it turned out. I'll see you next time.